Are you getting ready for the PMP exam? You've probably heard there are three big building blocks for the exam for you to succeed, and it's people, process, and business. At hpmexam.com, our PMP exam immersion course affords you the ability to learn very rapidly in just 4 hours what it means to say I'm a project manager competent and comfortable in the people domain or in the process domain or in the business domain. So let's go through what exactly we cover in this training. We sensitize you to the people, process, business, 42% people, 50% process, and 8% business. We go a step further to sensitize you to the understanding that 50% of your entire exam could be agile and hybrid. Another 50% could be predictive. Now, I say could be because I've gotten feedback from so many students that say, Phil, it was over 50%. It's got to have been in the 70s. Another student said it's got to have been in the 80s. So it really depends. It's situational. But the bottom line is you will get tested on both agile and hybrid and predictive. Let's talk about the people domain and what we cover. Now, I've arranged these out of order so that you're able to follow the narrative. For your exam, you need to understand what it means to build a team. You need to understand whether you're in the world of traditional or in the world of agile, there's certain things that you should do to define ground rules. Part of leading a team means understanding page 50 and 51 in the Agile Practice Guide and page 49 that talks about chartering the project, team charters, and so on, and other practices of Agile. Now, in the PMBOK Guide, we have similar narratives across the predictive aspect of project management. Building shared understanding, ensuring team members and stakeholders are adequately trained is a no-brainer. Mentoring relevant stakeholders when you see opportunities to do so, do that. Empowering team members and stakeholders, managing conflict, engaging and supporting virtual team members is a big one these days. Collaborating with stakeholders, addressing and removing impediments, obstacles, and blockers for the team. It's one of the things servant leaders do. Supporting team performance, promoting team performance through the application of EI, emotional intelligence, and negotiating project agreements. These are all areas that you are expected to have mastered for your exam. So in the course, we get you straight into it. And we begin showing you how you can accomplish all of these tasks, whether you're in the world of Agile or in the predictive world or hybridized. The second domain is the process domain. Again, out of the typical order of the PMP exam content outline, we arrange these a little bit differently because it doesn't start off with executing the project with urgency. There are other things you need to do, right? So the first task is to determine the appropriate project methodology, methods and practices. So we explain the Stacy complexity model. We talk about governance not being a bad thing, being a necessary thing. We talk about integrating project planning activities. So all those processes that you see in planning, the 24 that you see in that column on page 25 in the PMBOK Guide, we go through everything, all of that stuff to get you to understand and embrace the concept of integration in planning. The next one is planning and managing project phase closures or transitions, really close project or phase, planning and managing scope, planning and managing the schedule, planning and managing budget and resources, which is pretty much sandwiching two knowledge areas together. We expand on that. Planning and managing quality of products and deliverables, assessing and managing risk, planning and managing procurement, executing the project with urgency required to deliver business value. Now you see this appearing because you got to do all that planning first before you get to task one. So the way it's broken out in the content outline is not really intuitive, and that's why we have arranged it differently. Ensuring knowledge transfer for project continuity, managing project knowledge, doing that in the world of Agile in different ways. We'll talk about that too. Managing project issues, managing project changes, managing project artifacts. And in the world of predictive, we have a lot of artifacts on page 89. We'll touch on the most important ones. You also, in the world of Agile, have got artifacts. Depending on the framework, we could use the word artifact in different ways. We'll get you comfortable with that. And managing communications, and lastly, engaging stakeholders. This is all stuff that we do in the process domain. Whether you are in agile, whether you're in predictive, whether you're in hybrid, you're going to find yourself doing all these things. Last but not least, we have the business domain. This is usually on day 2. We cover this. And in the business domain, we plan and manage project compliance, safety compliance, things like OSHA regulations, SOX compliance, Sarbanes-Oxley, and so on. These are examples of how you would plan for and you would also manage these compliance items. Evaluate and deliver project benefits and value is something you should always be doing as a product owner, thinking in that regard, thinking on the portfolio level in this regard as well. Evaluating and addressing external business environments, the changes to those environments for their impact on scope. It's something that the product owner does and should do. And last but not least, in the business domain, we kind of left everything intact from 1 to 4 because business is more dynamic in that sense. We could do either of these. It really depends. But task 4 is support organizational change. We talk about how your project could affect the organization, how the organization could affect your project. These are things we should be thinking about. So, my friends, over the past number of minutes, I've been showing you important items in this topic of the PMP exam. We've taken a look at the people domain, the process domain, and the business domain. If these are areas you would love to cover with us, you need to go on down. Right up there you see hpmexam.com. We are going to be covering all of these topics in our next session. I would advise you go on down to the website, take a look at availability, see when the next session is happening. We're always looking forward to equipping you to succeed on the PMP exam. And if you're taking the CAPM exam, this is not for you because it's a different content outline, but stay tuned. We'll make other announcements as far as the CAPM exam content outline. And if that's something you want, shoot us an email and we'll let you know when the next session is. All right? Take care and see you soon. Bye for now.